Hey everyone, this is going to be A Dog's Purpose Part 5, Chapter 4. This is my second time uploading this video. I tried uploading it through my phone. Apparently the video was too long. So here we go. It was starting to seem to me that just when I had life all figured out, it changed. When we were running with Mother, I learned to few humans. I learned to scavenge for food. I learned how to placate fast so he would be in what, for him, was a good mood. And then the men came and took us to the yard and everything was different. In the yard, I adjusted quickly to life in the pack. I learned to love Sonera, Carlos, and Bobby, and just when my play with Coco was starting to amuse a different, more complex character, we were taken to visit a nice lady in the cool room, and the urgency I'd been feeling went completely away. I still spent most of my day chewing on and being chewed by Coco, but with all the odd compulsions that had occasionally sized me. In between the two worlds, the one outside and the yard, so the gate Mother had opened. I thought about the night of her escape so many times I could practically feel the metal knob in my mouth. Mother had shown me a way to freedom if I wanted it. But I was a different dog than Mother. I loved the yard. I wanted to belong to Sonera. My name was Tommy. Mother, however, was so antisocial that no one seemed to notice she was gone. Sonera had never even given Mother a name. Fast and sister sniffed every so often at the depression behind the railroad ties where Mother had lain but never showed any real concern about her disappearance beyond that. Life went on just as before, and then with everyone's status in the pack settled, with me feeding at the adjusting through, with Carlos sinking us bones and Sonera handing out treats and kisses, and came a new dog. His name was Spike. We heard the doors on Bobby's truck slam, so we were all barking, though it was so hot that day that some of us who were lying in the shade didn't even get off our bellies. The gate opened and Bobby entered, leading a large muscular male on the end of his pole. Having the entire pack rush you at the gate was intimidating, but the new dog didn't budge. He was as dark and bored as Roddy and as tall as Top Dog. Most of his tail was missing, but what little stub he possessed wasn't wagging, and he stood with his weight balanced on all four legs. A low rumble and timid from his chest. "Easy, Spike. Okay there," Bobby said. The way Bobby said Spike, I knew that was his name. I decided to let everyone else have a turn at inspecting him before I did anything. Top Dog, as usual, hung back, but now he emerged from the cool shadows near the water spout and tried forward to meet the new arrival. Bobby slipped the loop off Spike's neck. "Easy now," Bobby said. Bobby's tension rippled through the pack, and I could feel the fur on my back rising up, though I wasn't sure why. Top Dog and Spike were stiffing and examining each other, neither one backing down. The pack in a tight circle. Spike's face was covered with scars, teardrop-shaped hits and lumps colored a pale gray against his dark fur. Something about the way Spike seemed to take us all in, every single one of us, arrayed against him, made me afraid, though the result was as it should be. Spike allowed Top Dog to put his head over his back, though he didn't bow or lower his stomach to the ground. Instead, Spike went over to the fence, carefully sniffed at it, and then lifted his leg. The males immediately lined up after Top Dog to do the same thing on the same spot. Sonera's face appeared over the top of the gate, and then a lot of anxiety I had been feeling went away. Several of us broke from the circle and ran over to her, putting our legs on the fence so she would reach our heads. "See, he'll be okay," Sonera said. "A dog like him's been bred to fight, Sonera. He's not like the rest of them. No, ma'am." "You be a good dog, Spike," Sonera called over to him. I looked jealous in the new dog's direction, but his reaction to having his name spoken was to glance over as if it were nothing at all. "Tabby," I wanted her to say. "Good dog, Tabby." Instead she said, There are no bad dogs, Bobby, just bad people. They just need love. Sometimes they're broken inside, Sonara, and nothing will help them. Sonara's hand absently reached down and scratched behind Coco's ears. I frantically shoved my nose underneath Sonara's fingers, but she didn't even seem to know I was there. Later, Coco sat down in front of me with a rubber bone, guarding on it instructively. I ignored her, still hurt that I, Sonara's favorite, had been treated so dismissively. Coco flipped on her back and played with the bone with her paws, lifting it out of her mouth and dropping it, holding it so lightly that I knew I could take it. So I lunged, but Coco was rolling away from me, and then I was chasing her in the yard, furious that she had gotten this game all backward. I was so preoccupied with getting the stupid bone back from Coco, because I was supposed to have it, not her, that I didn't see how it started. I just registered that suddenly the fight I think we all know was coming was already happening. Normally, a fight with Top Dog was over quickly. The lower status dog accepted his punishment for challenging the order, but his horrible battle, loudly joined and viciously savage, seemed to last and last. The two dogs clashed with their forelegs off the ground, each striving to obtain the higher position, their teeth flashing in the sun. Their yowling was the most furious and terrible thing I had ever heard. Top Dog went for his usual grip on the back of the neck, where control could be extended without doing permanent damage, but Spike shook and snapped and bit until he had Top Dog's snout in his mouth. Though it had cost Spike a bloody tear under his ear, he now had the advantage. Top Dog forcing our leader's head lower and lower into the ground. The pad did nothing, could do nothing, but pant and circle anxiously, but the gate swung open and Bobby came running in, pulling a long hose behind him, and a jet of water hit both dogs. "Hey, cut it out! Hey!" he shouted. Top Dog went limp accidentally to Bobby's authority, but Spike held on to annoy the man. "Spike!" Bobby yelled. He thrust his nozzle forward and blasted Spike right in the face with it, blood flying into the air. Finally, Spike broke away, shaking his head to get it out of the spray, and the look he turned on Bobby was murderous. Bobby backed away, holding the hose out in front of him. "What happened? Was it the new one? El Combate?" Carlos called, coming into the yard. "Sí, pero será el problema," Bobby replied. Sonara joined the men in the yard, and after much confirming, they called Top Dog over and tended to his wounds with a sharp-smelling chemical that I instantly associated with a nice leaf in the cool room. Top Dog squirmed and licked from panting his ears back when Carlos dabbed something on the small cuts along his face. I never thought Spike would allow this same treatment, but he stood without protest when they worked on the cut under his ear. He seemed astonished to it somehow, accepting the chemical smell as something that happened after a fight. The next several days were agonizing. None of us knew where to sit anymore, especially the males. Spike was unquestionably the leader now, a message he enforced by challenging every single one of us, head-to-head in the yard. Top Dog had done the same, but not like this. For Spike, the most minor infraction was cause for discipline, and most punishment include a swift, painful nip. When play became too boisterous and too intrusive on Top Dog's area, he had always ensued a cold wording in form of a stare, perhaps a growl. Spike spent his day on patrol and would snap at us for no reason whatsoever. There was a black energy in him, something strange and mean. When the males jocked for new positions in the pack, challenging each other, Spike was there and too often would himself get involved, seemingly unable to hold back from plunging into the fray. It was unnecessary and distracting, causing so many tension and minor skirmish began breaking out among us, fighting for things that had been long ago decent, such as position at the food trout, or who would next go to lie in the part of the yard turned cool by the leaky water faucet. When Coco and I played a game where I had the rubber bone and she tried to steal it, Spike would come over growling and force me to drop the prize at his feet. Sometimes he would, carrying the bone back to his corner, ending the play until I could find another toy, and other times he would sniff at his contemptuously and leave it lie in the dirt. And when Coco brought it to his sack of bones, Spike didn't even bother to run over to see if he'd be given one. He waited until there were no men in the yard and then simply take what he wanted. Spike left some of the dogs alone, such as Roddy and Top Dog and Ollie, fast. But whenever I was lucky enough to sink my teeth into one of Carlos' delicious treats, I was resigned to the fact that Spike would soon be chewing on it instead. It was the new order. We might be having trouble figuring out the rules, but we knew who made them. We all accepted them, which was why I was so surprised when Fast took Spike on. It was, of course, because of Sister. It was a rare coincidence. The three siblings, Fast, Sister, and I, were standing by ourselves in the corner investigating a bug that had crawled in from under the fence. Being in such free and simple association with my old family was relaxing, especially after the stress-filled past few days that I pretended that I had never seen anything more fascinating than a tiny black insect racing microscopic pincers as if daring the three of us to a fight. Thus distracted, none of us noticed Spike until he was upon us, and his quick, silent attack on Sister's hunches drew an instant fine whelp from her. I instantly slunk to the ground. We'd been doing nothing wrong. But Fast couldn't take any more, and he lashed back at Spike, teeth flashing. Sister darted away, but I propelled forward by rage I never felt before, joined Fast in a bow, the two of us snarling, biting. I tried to leap up and grab a hunk of Spike's back, but he turned and slashed at me, and as I stumbled backward, his jaws clammed down on my foreleg, and I let out a scream. Fast soon found himself pinned to the ground, but I wasn't paying attention. The pain in my leg was agonizing, and I limped off, still crying. Coco was there looking at me anxiously, but I ignored her, making a beeline for the gate. Just as I knew he would, Bobby opened the gate and came into the yard, his hose in his hand. The fight was over. Fast had made peace, and Sister was hiding behind the railroad ties. So it was my leg that drew his attention. Bobby knelt in the dirt. "Good dog, Toby." "Okay, boy," he told me. I gave my tail a feeble wag, and when he touched my paw, sending a searing pain all the way up to my shoulder, I looked him in the face to let him know I knew he hadn't done it on purpose. Sonera went with us to see the nice lady in the cool room. Bobby held me down while she spoke with me with the same chemical smelling needle she used on me before, and then the pain in my leg didn't bother me anymore. I lay drowsily on the table while the lady tugged on my leg, listening to her voice as she spoke to Bobby and Sonera. I could feel her concern, her caution, but couldn't make myself care. As long as Sonera stroked my fur and Bobby leaned in to hold me still. Even as Sonera drew her breath when the nice lady in the cool room said permanent damage, I didn't so much as raise my head. I just wanted to lie on the table forever, or at least until dinner.